Swagatam, KAPARDI Mathematics classes. Gurubhyo Namaha. In this video, we are going to discuss about third compound statement, which is called conditional statement. We know very well how do we get compound statements. By joining two or more simple statements with a special phrase called connectives, we get a compound statement. So in the case of conditional compound statement, which phrase we are going to use? That phrase is if then. If then. That means if two statements joined by the connective if then the new statement is called conditional statement. Let me write the proper definition of conditional statement. Definition. Conditional statement. Conditional statement is the compound statement of two simple statements say P and Q. Conditional statement is the compound statement of two simple statements say P and Q, joining them by connective if then. So that is equal to conditional statement of P and Q is if P then first we write about F if, then the first statement, then Q. How do you notate? Denoted by denoted by P arrow mark Q. How do you read as P implies Q. That's all. So you have to join two statements with the arrow mark. That's all. It's the notation. Now, for example, P x 2 plus 3 is more than 4. Q Delhi is the capital of India. I have two statements I have. I'm going to combine them using this. P implies Q, or if P then Q. You can use any one, you can use either this or that. If 2 plus 3 is more than 4, then Delhi is the capital of India. I have chosen this example, if you observe carefully, that the total statement is meaningless. The total statement is meaningless if you consider this as an English statement. If you consider this as an English sentence, it's a meaningless. If 2 plus 3 is more than 4, then the Delhi is capital of India. Why I have chosen this example is, now to combine two statements using any connecting, no between P and Q. P and Q need not have any relation. Okay, now this I have taken. Let's take this. We go for next one. We discuss about truth value and truth table of this statement by discussing some more examples. So we can combine. We can get conditional statement of any two statements which don't have a direct relation. For example, I have P is a statement. P is a statement in China, rainfall is more this year. Second statement is yield of the crop is good in India. The rainfall in China is one statement. Yield of the crop in India is second statement. There is no direct relation. Even then, you can combine. If rainfall is more in China, then yield of the crop is good in India. You can combine. So just a combination of the two statements, combining two statements using if then the phrase or arrow mark. Okay. Now we have some more notes to understand this concept. Note 1. In P implies Q, this P is called antecedent, whereas Q is called consequent. Let me write. P is called antecedent and Q is called consequent. Now we have different expressions for this P implies Q. P implies Q can be stated as number one, first one. You know very well, P implies Q. P implies Q. The next one is second one. Q is necessary for P. Use idiom to find the meaning is same. Now let me explain about truth value of the statement by taking one example. Now truth value of next concept is of P plus Q by taking one example, because to understand this concept you need little bit of common sense. If you have common sense, understanding this concept is simple. Okay, now example P. Let X is a person belongs to UP, Uttar Pradesh. Let the statement is true. Let here he stays in Uttar Pradesh. I have Q, X belongs to India. Let this also true. I means India. X belongs to UP is a true, and Q, X belongs to India is also true. Let us assume. Now first of all, we go for P implies Q. P is true implies Q is also true, then this total statement will be true. Why? Because now first one, P implies Q. What is P implies Q? X belongs to UP, then X belongs to India. Of course, when a person lies in staying in UP, automatically means he is staying in India. So the total statement is true. The next one I take P implies negation of Q. And you know very well, when Q is true, negation of Q is false. That means here X belongs to UP. This implies X does not belong to India. When X is like staying in UP, automatically he stays in India. That means, suppose if I say X is not staying in India, even though X is staying in UP, that means this statement is false. Therefore, this statement is false. Next, come to, I go for negation of P implies Q. X is not staying in UP. Is it possible that X belongs to I? Yes, of course. X may be a person from Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, or Jammu Kashmir, but still he can stay in India. That means this statement is true. Next, finally, I go for negation of Q. Negation of P implies negation of Q. That means he is not staying in UP and he is not staying in India also. No problem. When the both are false, that he is not staying in India, he is not staying in AP, that means automatically the statement is true. That means if the both are false, even then the statement can be true. Now, I tabulate this concept. That's I named as truth table. Truth table. I understand, I know that still you have some ambiguity, dilemma in understanding the truth values of this three. Let me take some more examples also. So let me write table first. P, Q, P implies Q. This is true, this is true, this is true. This is true, this is false, false. This is false, this is true, and this is true. The both are false, then statement is true. This is truth table first. This one. So here you need to understand one important concept. When the both are true, agreeing conditional statement is obvious. Everyone say that it is true. Come to second one. True and false. True and false is leading to false. Why? Because a truth statement cannot push a false statement. A truth statement cannot imply a false statement. So this is a false. Whereas false statement can imply a truth statement. Even though first statement is false, it can push another statement, truth statement. It can. So this is true. And of course this is obvious. And both are false, this is true. Only most of the students they feel that about these two. Again repeat, a truth statement cannot imply a false statement. That's why in this case it is false. A false statement can imply a true statement, so in this case it is true. Let me use one more example, one more simple example to understand the concept. Only to make you understand the ambiguity about these two, I am giving one more example. P statement. Let us say X is a person. X is a person, Rama. Ramu studies well. Very good. Because Rama is always good boy. So he studies well. And Q, Ramu gets good mark in the test or in marks. Let us assume that this is true. It is also true. Now let us discuss about different cases. Case 1, P implies Q. P implies Q. That is, if Rama studies well, then he gets good marks. When both are true, it's obvious everyone answer. This is true. Next one, I go for P implies negation of Q. Rama studies well. Rama studies well, but he doesn't get good marks. Is it acceptable? No one. If he studies well, it's obvious that he will get good marks. That means this statement will be false. So I'll write it down. If I use notations, Rama studies well implies Rama does not get good marks. So we don't accept this statement. So this is false. I want to tell you, a truth statement cannot imply a false statement. It is true in the case of when both the statements don't have any relation. Next one, come to negation of Q implies, negation of P implies Q. Rama does not study well implies Rama gets good marks. Is it possible? Maybe Rama in real life, he may not be Rama. Only through cheating in examination also, he can get good marks. Or somebody might have helped him in examination. In that case also he gets good marks. That means even though the first statement is false, second statement is true, then the total is true. A false statement can imply a truth statement. And finally, negation of P implies negation of Q. Automatically, this is true. So again, I want to tell, a truth statement cannot imply a false statement, but a false statement implies a truth statement. That means even though the antecedent is true, consequent is false, consequent cannot be false. Consequence cannot be a false. So statement is false. Even though antecedent is false, consequence is true, then the total statement is true. Antecedent is false, consequence is also false, the total can be true. Is not. The process of taking conclusion about P plus Q. Sometimes most of the students and even the experienced people also struggle to take a correct decision. So in that case, we take the help of equivalent statements. We have one well-known equivalent statement to P implies Q. Now look here. Consider P implies Q and negation of P or Q. These two are equivalent statements with respect to truth value. Let me cabinet these results. First of all, P, Q, P implies Q, negation of P or Q. First, take true and true. Come to this phase here. Negation of P means false. False or Q. False or Q. Disjunction of false or Q is true. Of course, you know very well this is true. Next one, first one is true, next one is false. Come to this statement. Come to this statement. Negation of true means false. False or false is false. And you know very well this is a false. Next come to false, true. Negation of false is true, so true or true is true. And we know very well this is true. Next come to false, false. What's about this? This is true. Why? Because negation of false is true, true or false is true, and this is true. So whenever, if we observe the last two columns, P, F, T, T, P, F, T, T, both are same. So these two are equivalent statements. So whenever you have ambiguity or whenever you have dilemma in taking the truth, deciding the truthiness of this one, please take help of this. Definitely, it helps us to take a right decision about P implies Q. Please take this. So here, P implies Q is equivalent to negation of P or Q.